My name is Yusef Bunchy Shakur. I'm a native Detroiter. I grew up in the neighborhood. When I grew up, it was called Zone 8 after the zip code, 40208. I grew up here in the early 80s, going into the 90s. I helped co-found a gang in the area, which also led me to go to prison for a crime I didn't do. By age 10, 13, and I'm looking back, the neighborhood had changed. We had taken the neighbor out of the word neighborhood, and it was only a hood, which hood had become a code word for black, for tough, for being gangster. And so as I analyzed my life in those circumstances, like, damn, these things are contributing to the destruction of my community. And we had to put the neighbor back in the hood. It started 2 years after I got out of prison. We started off with just giving away school supplies and a few other things. We had like maybe about 50, 60 people that came. And it really educated me on the point of, even though we was giving stuff away for free, people in my community had been left for dead for so long that they didn't even trust this event that was meant for them. Most people who do programs, their kids don't even come to the program. You know, they finally don't. I'm doing a program at my mom's house. I'm doing a program with my kids, my nieces, my nephews are there. So we're all equal in this. Even though we're giving school supplies, it's so much more. It's love, it's hope. It's the ability to say, I care about you. Even though I don't know you personally, all the families who have children may leave with a backpack, but every person out there get a free meal. I mean, not just any type of free meal. Like my mom literally slaves in the kitchen. When you invite somebody to your house, because you don't invite everybody to your house. When you invite people to your house, that tells a lot. You know, it's opening up to a space where we're going to break bread as a family. My homies that still gangbanging, stop gangbanging on that day. They can come down and enjoy the festivities. My homies who are fathers probably may have not spent time with their children due to other things on that day. We created an environment for them to be fathers or be mothers. And so a lot of us talk about peace. You know, for us, we're showing what peace looks like in a war zone. You know, make no mistake about it. There are some problems that exist in this community, but we're saying that we're better than our problems, that we know how to handle those problems by creating an environment that where conflict will not be at our door. Love will be at our door. Where we are right now, we're in a house that was given to me. It's actually in the neighborhood down the street from the house that I grew up in, where we host the annual backpack. And ultimately this house, the vision of it is to be restoring the neighbor back to the training center. And the attic was going to be a loft. We're downstairs, and this whole section here will be a cafe, meeting space. I've been doing work with the Michigan Roundtable for a couple years now, off and on. And due to my respect for them, because I don't know, it's kind of like the backpack, to be honest, this is my baby. So when it's your baby, you don't invite just anybody to watch your baby with you. And out of our genuine respect, I was like, you know, what do you guys think about partnering in particular for this, besides other things that we do? And you know, it was like, yeah, let's figure out how we can do that. And so we talked, which part of them is about the storytelling, and you know, creating a day around storytelling, and being able to meet people where they at.
About 7 years ago, the Michigan Roundtable's Race to Equity team, we were investigating the history of housing in Detroit. With all the information we had that we had researched, we decided to put together a traveling exhibit. This exhibit has been seen by over 200,000 people across Michigan and several other states in the U.S., and we decided to bring it in partnership with Yusef and his Restoring the Neighbor Back to the Hood Community Day event here to the neighborhood to share the history of housing and race in Detroit. The first outcome that continually stays the same is that we want to investigate and understand the history, the way we were in the past, the things that happened in the past in order to move us forward in the future.
So much of the physical history is gone, and it's, you know, some of these houses are vacant lots now. But what I've seen just being here for the last couple of hours is numerous people coming through and immediately lighting up with recognition and having really deep, beautiful personal stories. And we want to preserve that history because we know that storytelling is a transformative process, both for the person telling the story and for the person listening to it.
Detroit has a history that you don't see when you look at the empty blocks and the empty lots. You don't see when you see the rundown houses that there were families that lived here that didn't have to lock their doors for decades because there was such a sense of community and neighborhood. There are people who don't know that there's a viable 15th Street Block Club that's still viable today.
So that was the purpose. So this house operated on that day as a living museum right in the community. You know, showing people, despite being in poverty, despite the social injustice that occur, you still have power, and you have to claim that power by recognizing the power within you. And the power within you is it grows by us connecting all our powers. Because we can talk about everything that's wrong in Detroit. This program right here, this house that we're doing is about everything that's right in Detroit. Even though you see in the Dan Gilberts, the Mike Duggins, and all these folks who are talking about redevelopment, here we are. We're making it happen on a zero budget. We're like that dead flower. And the backpack giveaway, the house, and all the things that we've been doing have been like that water. The water that came and brought life back to a dead community. The need is there. And so folks supporting this is supporting the ability to impact people right in their hearts.